Good morning, sunshines. Happy Thursday, the 22nd of December. Happy my break. I'm excited. It's like 30 minutes before my alarm would have gone off if I hadn't turned off almost all of my alarms yesterday. But my body's like, hey, let's get up. Let's do the things. So I am going to get up and do some things. I'm going to have a slow morning of knitting and watching Vlogmas, and I'll probably read a little and write a little and just have such a great lie-in. It's going to be so good. The only plans that I have today are have the kids clean their rooms because they're going to their dad's, and my oldest wants to go downtown to go to the bakery and to get coffees at the coffee shop. So I don't know if the little one is going to want to run along and do that too, or if it's just going to be me and the oldest. We shall see, but I am excited for that plan. Oh, and I'm also going to go to the post office since we're going to be downtown, and I have one more thing to send out. So, yeah, it'll be good. So, hopefully my oldest will wake up early so that we can be there early to the post office and then enjoy the rest of our snacky snacks. All right, friends, I'm going to go start my day. I'm going to go get my advent calendar and start those socks. That's going to be first so that I can just have the socks done for the day. Yeah, it's going to be a great day. We're having a great day. I insist. All right, I'm ready to open today's advent, but also I am going to open a present because I have enough to open one a day until, well, including Christmas now, because I didn't have very many bad days in December. Yay, that. So let's see what we got. Oh my goodness, look at these pens. These are beautiful pens. Makes me want to do more schoolwork so I can work through some pens. And I love that she sent me refills. I love to refill my pens. I don't love to just throw them away. I really try to buy pens that I can get refills for and then use the refills. So yeah. Oh, those are pretty. I'm going to use these to write my letters this coming weekend. I'm excited. These are letter writing pens. Does anybody else do this? You assign certain types of pens to certain activities. Just me? That's okay. And then look at the beautiful yarn for the advent today. Hopefully blanket knitting will continue. Blanket knitting will definitely continue. What am I saying? Hopefully. So I checked with the kiddo and they don't want to go until about 10 a.m. So I'm having this for breakfast. It is amazing. It is a gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan pasta salad that one of my coworkers made because I don't have those dietary restrictions, but like 5 of them do, and nobody ever brings food with those restrictions in mind. I take the easy way out and I always sign up to bring a veggie tray because I know that everybody can eat the veggie tray. And that at least if nobody else brings anything, everybody can eat the veggie tray. So she was like, hey, I know you do that on purpose. So I made this salad that I'm not sharing with everybody. It's in my office. And I had some and she was like, you don't eat much that people bring either. And I'm like, no, I don't have dietary restrictions. I just don't want a lot of sugar and a lot of like just processed foods. I like fresh things and stuff. And she was like, well, you eat the salad too, silly goose. She didn't call me a silly goose, but basically. So yeah, then she made a huge batch and she was like, help yourself. And I was like, okay, I will take some home if you don't want it. She's like, no, of course, take some home. So it's delicious. It's got asparagus, it's got spinach, tomatoes, artichoke hearts, chickpea pasta, yellow peppers, and then roasted chickpeas. I think that's everything. It's so good. I'm so excited for this for breakfast. Seems like a good morning for new beginnings. So I just started some leg warmers for my best friend. She asked if she could commission some in like a grayish color, and we were going back and forth about what kind of grayish color, and she didn't give me a solid answer. So I have this really, it's like a brownish gray neutral. She definitely wanted neutral so that she could put it on over her yoga pants. She is a yoga instructor. So I'm just gonna make this and see how far it goes. And I'm using, I don't know, some really big needles. I don't know exactly what size. And yeah, just gonna work on these. I haven't decided if I'm going to make them plain or if I'm going to put a cable up, like the outside of the leg, because I really like cabling on winter wear. I don't know why I love it so much. I just do. So it's probably going to be the route I'm going. But it's only 24 stitches per leg warmer, and I'm going to do 1 by 1 twisted rib, half twisted rib until, it looks good. So maybe one more round, maybe 2. And then I'm going to go into the main part of the leg. Eventually there will be some increases, but we'll see. I don't know how far this yarn will get me onto leg warmers. I don't know if I'll be changing yarn halfway through because that's all that I have of that. I don't know. I have no idea. But when the love of your life best friend who you've known longer than you haven't known her asks if she can pay you to make something, sometimes you just make it for her. Because she couldn't pay for it, like she couldn't buy the yarn for it the day that we were at the yarn store. So this way, like, it's yarn that I already had on hand that I wasn't going to use for anything in particular. So she doesn't have to like feel some kind of way about me paying for yarn because I didn't pay for this yarn. And then she can have some leg warmers, and then she can decide what she likes about them and what she doesn't. That way when she commissions a pair of leg warmers, it can be something that she actually really wants. I also started some hexapuffs because I want to use up the scrappy yarn and I want to make hexapuffs. So I went ahead and started that. I think we're going to get ready soon to walk to the downtown. I'm pretty excited. See you there. We are leaving the post office. Mission 1 accomplished. Yes. Now to get coffee and pastries.
Yes.
Not necessarily in that order.
Yes.
So at the coffee shop, we are going to sit and hang out for a little bit. And I got us a family present. It's called the Flower Letters. I don't know. I saw it on an Instagram ad. It got me. It's like you get a letter every 2 weeks and it's a story. And I'm pretty sure it has like a through line keeping it all together. So yeah, every 2 weeks we'll have an excuse to like have family breakfast or something and read a letter together. Hello, sunshines. We are back from our little downtown date. It was lovely. The food was so good. We got all sorts of goodies. A cream and strawberry stuffed croissant, which so good, like so good. And I got a puff pastry for tomorrow for me for breakfast. My oldest kiddo got some macarons and I had one, and so tasty. And then we went to the coffee shop and I started reading them the letter, and they were not suitably impressed. So I came home and I read the letters, the story to my best friend. So now I bought this letter thing. Maybe the kids will get into it later. Maybe it's just not the right time. But for now, I bought this letter subscription thing for me and my best friend instead. So I'll be reading it to her every 2 weeks. And she was like, oh, this sounds interesting. And I used to, way back in the day, I used to read a web series, a web comic, to a group of my friends via Ventrilo. Who knows what Ventrilo is? Anybody know about Vent? Okay, so we would all get together on I think it was a regularly scheduled evening. I think when the new installment of the web series would drop, and I would read the web comic to everybody. And we didn't do this forever. It was probably just a couple months time, but like it was me reading to my best friend and my girlfriend at the time. They lived in the same-ish area, about 2 hours away, like here-ish at home. I went to college 2 hours away. And then I read to friends who were at 2 other colleges. So we would get together and I would read. And obviously you have to have a turn the page sound, because how boring would it be to be like, oh, turn the page. And sometimes people aren't like looking and reading along, like they glance at the page for the details and stuff. But you know, we were college kids, so probably studying or eating or other stuff was going on while I was reading. So the turn the page sound is nope, that's not it. It's so there you go. That's how we know to turn the page, because we were gonna just do blowing a raspberry as the turn the page sound, but like it's too easy to miss. So you have to start with a snort first. Then it's clearly a turn the page sound. You're welcome. So I get to do that again. And I really, really like that. I really like reading to people. I like it a lot. And I'm fairly decent at it. I can do, a few different voices. And actually, you don't even know. But I'm really good at about 4 accents. So every once in a while, I throw an accent in there. That's pretty great. I mean, other than my normal Michigan accent. So, yeah. I am looking forward to it. I got the Nora something Chronicles. Here's a picture of what it is. And I really like it. I could see this being something that I purchase again in the future. It was not cheap. You get 24 letters throughout the year. And it's not super, super expensive per letter. But, it's not a cheap thing either, because you pay for it all at once. Because it's a year subscription. You get it's 24 letters over a year. So I get a letter every 2-ish weeks or so. I'm really, really looking forward to it. And I like this sort of idea. It's something to look forward to every 2 weeks. It's like the idea of a yarn subscription thing, but it's not yarn. It's a story, and who doesn't love a story? Well, I mean, maybe some people don't love a story, but it's really fun. And it's young adult, and a fantasy mystery thing. I'm super excited about it. I kind of wish I had it all at once. I would read it, but I think the magic is in that it's this first installment, the first chronicle, as it's called, is only a 4-page letter plus like a what would it, at like a chapter starter sort of thing. You know what I'm talking about? How they have just a little bit at the beginning of the chapter. That's a something else, and it's text messages. And yeah, and there's a legend that's involved. I don't know. It's cool. The extras are cool. It's totally worth the money. I'm not trying to be like, oh, it's too expensive. I don't think so. I think that the price that I paid for it is worth it. And next year, I'll know that they do a Black Friday sale. So I will buy myself my next subscription on Black Friday when they have a sale. And I think they had everything like 30 to 40% off, like all the subscriptions. So that would make it like super worth it. Hi. Hello. I think I did buy it on sale, and it was like the first month was free. So that was pretty cool. But if I could get it for 30% off, that would be even better. Very exciting. All right. Hello, Colby. What are you doing? Do you want to say hi to the peoples? No, you just want to harass me? I love you. You're very perfect. What? What is it? Look at that face. Smashed. That's what you get for harassing me while I'm recording. Oh. He says, if there's head pets, it's okay. Hey, I love you. Today's socks, I feel like they're called Intersector or something like that, but that might be wrong. I did these as a test knit for a very, very lovely designer, whose name I will put in the show notes and we'll put at the bottom of the screen. I test knit 2 of the 3 pairs of these STEM inspired socks for her, and I love them. So I'm getting ready to go. This colorway, I believe, was a Nerd Girl Yarns, and this one was a Dream in Color. I think, fairly certain. But I like the way they work up. And I'm sorry, my kids are getting ready to go, so giant feet stomping around my room. What was I going to say? Oh, I really like the way that using like a variegated yarn with a solid yarn works up in mosaic knitting.
That is beautiful.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you. Bougie ramen for dinner. It's not really that bougie. But, you know, bougie-ish ramen for dinner. It's a little after 6 p.m. I am getting ready for a Zoom with some of my knitting friends. I am super excited. I haven't talked to them since May. I mean, text, yes, but talk, no. Totally different. So I'm going to check in with you before I clear my space of some things that I'm not going to work on anymore tonight. I put a square in my blanket. It's been a few days since I've done that. I finished these hexapuffs, except they need to be stuffed, so they're just going to hang out on this needle waiting for yarn scraps, tails and stuff. And I worked on my green blanket some more. I am stopping in the middle of a row though, because I have reached the end of a mini and I don't want to. I gave myself that limit, working in that mini, as my limit for the day, so I'm going to put it away because I've already finished like 3 other green minis today. So I'm going to work on the baby blanket during the Zoom and also my friend's leggings. So I will check in with you about those later. All right, friends, I was almost falling asleep in the Zoom because my cat came up and cuddled into my side, and then I got all warm and cozy. So must be time for a check-in. So here is the baby blanket. It has a diamond motif. You can see that. And This is where I was this morning, all the way down here. So I finished the first repeat. I've done the math. I'm going to need to do 15 repeats. So I have one finished. And I don't anticipate doing one a day. So it's fine. But the person who commissioned it said, a few months. So that's perfect. I'm going to get a really good start on it while I'm on break. And then try to keep up with it once I go back to school. I also put in some work on my sock, mostly while we were out at the coffee shop and walking home. So about 2.5 stripes. And I'm working the ribbing. So I'm basically using the child tube sock recipe or pattern, either way, which is a pattern that I designed that just kind of makes tube socks for kiddos that fit really well because they have ribbing around the heel. So I'm doing that. And I'm pleased with that progress. While I was in my Zoom, I had a candle burnout. So for those of you keeping track, this is candle number 12. So I'm just going to pull that out, stick this on my candle warmer, and then I have one more vanilla pillar candle. So I'm going to just plop it into the wax, and then when that one burns down, then I will melt all of the wax and pour it into a candle. So this is what I do with candles that have burned down. I have these wooden wicks, and I just melt down all of the wax. This is probably 3 or 4 candles ends in here. So then I just have another candle to burn because I go through so many. So this one is a citrus candle. So it's 2 different citruses in there right now. The top one is lemon. I don't remember what the green one is. Could be anything. But I have a specific vanilla candle thing because I burn so many vanilla candles. I also have like a apple cinnamon one and a black cherry one. So if it's those smells, I keep the candle ends. If it's not those smells, I use them to make fire starters for camping and stuff. And I also finished the first page of my Wreck This Love page, and I have started on the second. This is so fun. I love playing with fonts. All right, friends, I'm sleepy. I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.